I'm sitting here with Terri Green, who has survived the first round of the Republican primary for County Court at Law Number 6 and is in a runoff. First day of early voting is Monday, I believe, and the election day is the 13th. Congratulations on making the runoff.
Thank you very much, Bill.
And thank you for talking to me. We'll dive right into this. My first off, I'd like you to spend a minute or two and tell my listeners, my readers, why they should vote for you.
Well, being a 20-year lawyer, I've had experience in all areas that this County Court at Law Number 6 covers. That is criminal, civil, and appeals. And this is a court of general jurisdiction. And not only do I have all the experience, I've also been out in the public and working and have donated thousands of community service hours to either the Republican Party as their first general counsel, so I know the constituents there. I've worked with the Democrats as the general counsel when I was the Republican Party. We had to work hand in hand with the Democrats in the Libertarian group and now the Tea Party groups. In addition, I'm a Rotarian, so I'm very familiar with giving back to the community, and also served on the board of directors for the Frisco Chamber of Commerce and now in the Plano leadership class. So I think I have a knowledge about what the individuals want in the county, what the county needs, and I work very well with all of the politicians and elected officials in the county. And I think I would bring a great wealth of knowledge to the bench, not only about how to handle cases that come before the court, but also the personalities of those involved in the whole county.
Well, thank you very much. You mentioned the courts of general jurisdiction. That leads me to my second question. With some of the budget constraints that this economy has caused, people are looking very hard at ways to reduce the cost of the criminal justice system. And I know one of the things that have been talked about a lot, it seems to be in vogue right now, is the creation of specialty courts designed to both be more efficient and also to, by concentrating on a certain class of criminal or a certain class of crime, to more intensively supervise those people outside the penal system and hopefully reduce recidivism. What is your thoughts on that? As part of the Board of Judges, you'll have a vote on how cases are assigned. Do you think that something Collin County should be exploring?
I think you should explore it. I came from Houston, Harris County, where we had all specialized courts. And when I moved here in 2002, I was surprised to learn that Collin County was courts of general jurisdiction. So when you were down the Harris County courts and you had to file a family law matter, it went to one of the 9 family law courts. Or if you filed something in the county courts and it was a civil matter, it went straight to the those precincts and those courts that handle just the civil matters of it. So I was an insurance defense trial lawyer. I tried cases routinely, automobile cases for those under $100,000, and they would go to the civil courts over there. If you had a criminal matter, it would be filed in either the district court, depending if it's a felony or a misdemeanor, it would be filed in that specialized court. I do think that we should look into it because that particular judge who sits on that bench and hears that one particular case day in and day out, they have knowledge, they can keep up to date on the law. More so than I think if you have a specialized court versus the general courts. Here you have to have a family law court and then turn right around and hear a family law matter, you hear a criminal matter, then you may hear an automobile case or a wrongful death case for more than $100,000. And I think it would be challenging, and I think it is challenging for a judge to have to keep up with every single area of the law. Although we've had excellent reputation of our judges being able to do that, some judges, I think, especially in the Houston area, they did like to handle those just one type of case. If you're board certified in family law, you handle the certified, those kind of cases that come before them that are in the realm of the criminal cases. Some people are board certified in family law, and they like the family law, so they would be a family law judge. So I think it just depends on what the citizens want. And right now we have general jurisdiction, and we handle all types of cases in all the courts.
Thank you very much. To the citizens want, that's a lead into my next question. A few months ago, you were kind enough to fill out a questionnaire that the Observer sent you. And one of the questions on that questionnaire was, do you believe in that our system of partisan election of judges should be continued? And your response was yes. and that all people had a chance to run for office and choose the party that they wanted, and it would help the citizens to know what party they belong to. Well, you've had a few months of campaigning in what is a partisan election, and in that form, now you have some experience behind you on this question. Has it reinforced your opinion, changed your mind? Talk about that.
That's a good question. I think it's reinforced my position that anybody can run for office. You can start out, and then this has happened in this particular race, these races, you start out as a Republican candidate, and then you can switch over to be a Democrat candidate, or you can run as a Libertarian. So I think it doesn't matter what party you belong to, it's wide open. Anyone who wants to run for office can run for any position they want to, irrespective of what their party affiliation is.
Okay. Thank you very much. My last question is pretty open-ended, but I'd like you to be as specific as you can possibly be. And that's got to do with fairness and the perception of fairness. We've had several times in the last couple of years where Collin County courts have been in the news in ways that they're probably not thrilled about. If you're the judge, if you're elected to the judge of Court 6, what could you do as the presiding judge of that court to assure the people that come into your courtroom, be they litigants, be defendants, state, or for that matter, jurors, that the business of your courtroom is justice and that everyone will be treated fairly?
Well, I think I've had this question asked a couple of times, and I think the most important thing for me would be that everyone is treated with respect. When you come into my courtroom, whether you are a litigant or a juror or a judge or the opposing side or the bailiff or a court staff, you will come into my court and you will be respectful of every single person. I will not tolerate any outburst or any negativism that goes on in there, although I know that the attorneys have to be, represent their clients zealously. But you will be respectful to me, and you will be respectful to my staff as well as to each other and to the jury. I'll also will be fair in that I think, coming from working in a large law firm at Vincent & Elkins as a paralegal down in Houston 10 years before I went to law school, I learned too that you have to be fair and that you have to listen, and you have to have an opportunity for individuals to have time to present their case, but you also have to have an opportunity to give people an opportunity to work up their case. That is to have time for depositions. And some of the cases are wrongful death cases, they take a lot more time. And then for the last 20 years of practicing law, all the way from the state courts to the federal courts, I was very appreciative of those judges who allowed me, when I tried cases in the federal court, to be able to work up the case, get my depositions in, make sure that I had the proper time for discovery, any objections or responses that I needed, make sure that I had time for pretrial conferences if necessary, or pretrial matters, and then gave me the opportunity to try my case when it was the time to try the case, and not set a time limit for you on certain aspects of your trial.
Okay, well, we're out of time right now. Thank you very much, and good luck in your race.
Thank you very much, Bill. I appreciate it.